Shall we? Shall we do this Friday night live stream thing? What's going on? The Stacking Kid first. Yes, you were. You're very much first. I am tired. A full afternoon with the kids all by myself. Not fun. I mean, it was fun, but now it's not fun. Speaking of which, I might be doing a giveaway here shortly. It is these guys over at Toner actually sent me a microphone. It's those same guys that sent me the other microphone that I gave away previously, but this time it is not a USB mic. It is an XLR mic. And I figured I would just wait until some people get in here, but as you can see, XLR, I'll show it to you guys. So here's the setup. It came literally with the boom arm, the mic, a little pop filter, a pop screen. It literally comes with everything. It's 60. I think it was $60 on Amazon, but they sent it to me for free, just to give them a review on Amazon. And I told them, I was like, hey, you can send it to me, but I'm gonna try it out, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell Amazon that I don't like it. And they were like, yeah, that's what we want. We want the feedback. Like we need to know how to make it better. And yeah, so not gonna lie, it's pretty nice for $60. I actually really like the stand, the boom arm that they like to call it. Comes with the shock mount. I mean, it comes with everything you would need to get started, except for you would need phantom power or an audio interface or a mixer or something like that. And that's the one thing that it doesn't come with. And if you guys can hear me, I'm actually going to do a little test for you guys. Hey, and what's up, David? What's up, man? Mr. Nice, how you doing? So I'm going to unplug my current mic, and I'm going to plug in the new mic. Let me bring it over here. And I want you guys to notice the difference. See the thing, I don't like, this thing is not very adjustable friendly. Okay. Testing. A little loud. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So can you hear the difference? It's still a little loud. Hold on. There we go. So, you hear the difference? It's a little on the higher side. Makes your voice a little bit not as deep, I guess. And I like to think that my voice doesn't actually sound like this. Like when I was listening back to it, you could hear the actual, like, it's just like missing that. It's almost like when you buy cheaper headphones, how they're missing that like low end of the sound. And I feel like that's what this is missing, is that low end of the voice transmitting. And I don't really know that much about microphones and stuff like that, but let's go back to the other mic and see if you can tell the difference. Okay, so now I'm back on my other mic. Pretty big difference, huh? But at the same time, for $60 to get an XLR mic with the stand, with everything else, it's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. James, what's up, man? Thomas, how you doing? But I was thinking of maybe giving that away for like a 2,500 sub thing. I haven't thought that far ahead though, so we'll see. I haven't got there yet. But it would require that you already have an interface. Like I have the Scarlett Solo or a Phantom Power. You can get the Phantom Power for like $15. But yeah, okay. So anyways, tonight's topic of discussion, and I am not going to be here past 10:30. I'm setting a limit for myself tonight. because I have to wake up with the kids tomorrow because the wife is off on like a little spa weekend. And it really got me thinking, I need to do some sort of, getaway, because this is like the third one in this year that she's done. And you know how many I've had? That many. And I want one. I want to go away and just do something for myself, no matter what it is, just by myself. I just want to go do something and just be by myself. I haven't been by myself for the last 4 years. It's been 4 years since we had the kiddos. Come to Canada? I could. Maybe I'll try to organize like a big meetup. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? No. I didn't say Graham. Listen, Graham, Stefan. If you want to come bashing into my stream saying, "Yo, I thought you weren't streaming," you need to read correctly. I said I wasn't doing what I said. I wasn't doing something, but it wasn't streaming. It was something else. I forget what it was. You interpreted it as I wasn't streaming, and I was like, "What is this guy talking about?" But no, I'm streaming. I'm here, right? I'm here. I'm here every Friday night. Everyone knows that. Unless I have shingles, I think that's about it. I think that's the only or vacation. Which, speaking of which, not next week, September 11th and the 18th, I will not be doing the Friday night live stream, and the whole week of the 14th through the 18th, I won't be trading. We're actually going down to Myrtle Beach, and no, we are not staying around people. It's literally just us who we've been around. Anyways, it's our family, the four of us, and then the wife's parents, and we've been seeing them this entire time anyways, and they've been keeping to themselves as well. So we're still doing our thing, but we're trying to go on vacation. But again, it's not, me by myself, so it's a little different. But yeah, day trade operator, what's going on? Yeah, Graham, I don't know what you were even talking about, but yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, that's what it was. I said I wasn't drinking. Yeah, because I'm alone with the kids, so I can't. And if something were to happen to the kids and I'm drinking, yeah. So I'm not going to do that. Got to try to be a little responsible. So real quick, going to go over our trades from today, and then I want to get into the strategy, my strategy that I'm using now, because it's the same strategy, sort of. It's just the entries are a little different. And we're going to get to that. No, it's not TT. It's the same strategy, except we are now, you know what? We'll be TTB, TTLB, Tinkertim, TTBLT, Tinkertim, but like Brian. I'm not tinkering anything. I'm finally giving in is what I'm doing. Finally giving in and saying F this, and I'm ready to do things the right way. Yeah. Tinker. I'm trying to think of a good name for it. Yeah, I can't. All right, so NTNX was one of our trades. This was actually the only trade that I was maybe iffy that I should have taken, but I really liked the idea of the resistance, and it was a fast move up to it. So when I remember watching this trade in the moment. Let's pull up the daily. It had these lines of resistance here, which they were actually a little lower, 25.50 area. So if we go back to the 2-minute, I saw that on the daily, but I marked it just based off of after hours move on, and this was on earnings. So I knew that line was there on the daily, but I had marked this and I knew that that was there. So when it made a big move here, it made a pretty good pullback there. It was about half the move. And then it continued, little pullback, and then we extended through. Now, I saw the pre-market levels here, and I saw it go through, and it tried to come down. Actually, I'm pretty sure I was in this and then it came down and then it went higher. Because I remember telling myself we missed that wash, but I wasn't too upset about it because of only having the single entry. But it went higher, and I said, okay, if we get through this level and we start to hold this area as support and move higher, I'll get out. I remember telling myself that. But it didn't. Came back down, came back to that same level, and it showed that it wanted to use that area right here, the previous resistance, as support again. And so as it was doing that, I jumped out. And as you can see, it ended up being the right move. But we're gonna come back to this stock in a minute. We'll go to our worst trade of the day, which happened to be IQ. Ended up being break even. This was actually probably the best looking stock, I think. We'll see about Iova. As far as the extension goes, I mean, really no previous resistance. I mean, you could say that this was one. It was really the only pullback before the move. I mean, I guess you could call that. But we had an order at 2015 once we entered this stock. Because look, I was eyeballing about 50% of this move. And even if we stayed in this and got this dump, we still wouldn't have got it. It only got the 2019. So I was a little frustrated that this one never really worked out. It did get down to 2030 a couple times, and that was it. I remember saying it had to break this 35 area because that was holding as support. It broke that, and then it kept holding 30. And then it started going up, and I was like, okay, maybe this just doesn't want to go down. And overall, I was right? This thing didn't want to go down, but it did flush real quick before it did. So this ended up being break even. I think we actually made a cent. Got in at 39, out at 38. So, and then our best trade of the day was Iova. Yeah, I guess this one was better looking, but this one pretty much gave the entire move back. It was crazy. So previous resistance here off of that first move. Didn't even catch the first move, but as you can see, you could have essentially traded this one, but I didn't even see this one when it happened. And then pulled back, didn't really give you much of a pullback, and this is actually a good example too for after I show you this. But then we get a really nice extension, and look at that extension away from VWAP, away from the 9, away from just everything, right? Or away from previous resistance. Beautiful entry. I felt the top. I got in. It actually tried to go up through 32 after we got in, and it just came back down. I eyeballed about half the move. I actually went a little bit below. We put an order out there at 31.25, and it went down there and gave it to us. So I was pretty happy with that. What was that, 60 or 40? Nope, 61 cents is what we ended up with there. So can't really complain too much about getting 61 cents. I'm not tinkering though. I'm trading the same strategy, just in my entries to get into the stock are a little different. I mean, it is tinkering. I mean, I can't disagree with you, but at the same time, look, you can't just pick a strategy, and if it's not fulfilling your needs and it's not working how you thought it was going to work, you can't just keep doing it over and over again until you lose all your money. You have to modify, you have to adjust, you have to tinker to get it to the way that you want it. So if what I feel I was doing isn't going to work, then yeah, I'm going to tinker with it. I'm not just going to keep doing it. No, I'm not tinkering. I'm just trying to be Brian. I'm not tinkering. I'm just trying to be Brian. That's not tinkering. That's just doing the right thing. No, I said adjusting. I didn't say anything about tinkering. Go away, Justin. I said I will if I have to. I didn't say I am. I keep trying to say I'm literally trading the same strategy. It's the same strategy. It's just I'm entering the stock differently. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I said you can go replay it. I said I'm going to tinker if I have to. IQ, massive float, massive volume equal no-go. Yeah, no, yeah. IQ. Once I got into IQ, let's go back to it real quick so we can take a look at the daily. So I got into IQ, right? I'll draw a line just so we can see where it's at on the daily. But as you can see, I got in right here, and look at where we were. We were in a gap fill, and look at that. It actually went up there and got it. I didn't even notice. Go back to the 2 minute here. Yeah, it went right up to it, and it's like, we're filling that gap. Let's go. So yeah, I got in. It was a 300 mil float. It started to go slow, and there was a gap fill right there. Look at that, almost to the that's crazy. They do it. That's why we talk about those gap fills every once in a while, because when they're in there, they tend to want to go get it. So be consistent in tinkering. Yeah. Hey, at least I'm being consistent in something. So, all right, let's break down what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about what I'm talking about with the tinkering. So now feel free to ask questions along the way, but hold on one sec. I was talking to Brian. I was asking if there was any that he scaled into today so I could use them as an example, but this one will actually work pretty well. Okay. Justin, did you hear my mic earlier? I got another mic. I might give it away, I'm not sure. How can someone say they are tinkering but claim they are not tinkering? So let me reverse this and ask you a question. If what you were doing wasn't working, would you just keep doing it? Sorry, I got like chapped lips right now. I'm like keep picking at it. Stinker tinker. Anyways, let's move on. We're not gonna get anywhere just talking about this tinkering. Call me Tinker Tim. It's fine. I don't mind. If Tinker Tim finds out a way to make money, then I'm all for it. Yeah, no, I know I lost our bet. You can paint my beard whatever color you want. The next time you see me, you can paint my beard, Mr. Tinkle. The only thing I changed is my entries. That's it. That's really all I changed. Everything else I'm still doing the same. I'm still looking for profit around the 50% mark. I'm still entering overextended stocks on fast moves, or at least what I think are fast moves. Apparently, sometimes I get in the moves and Brian's like, that wasn't a fast move. And I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck a fast move is then. It's not that big of a change, though, because the reason that I'm changing it is because it allows me more room. It allows me to be in with less size, and it allows me to have more of a chance to stay in the trade. And let me explain. Let me explain. Let's say on Iova here, I scaled into this. I guess I can't change the color. Let's just get rid of these lines. So let's say I saw previous resistance right here, and I like the way this moved through the whole $1.30, and I got in here at 30.15. And I got to add here it went through 30.50, felt like it was topping right here, and it tried to come back down, right? So we felt like that was the jiggle. We felt like it was coming back down. So now our average is at what, like right around there. So around like 30.40. So when it comes back down, this literally dropped to our average and then went back up. Well, what I was doing was saying, okay, let's put a high in. We didn't get that last ad. We probably would have been looking for it to go through 31. It came down, bounced off our average. We didn't take any off because we were looking for more than that. It goes up the high of day right here. And what do? We stop out, right? So we stop out for a 40-cent loss. Now, with the new entry system, I basically take my 112. So let's say that's 4, right? So 1, 1, and 2 is 4. And we're going to turn that same share size into 20. That's it, right? And now keep in mind, this is basically what Brian does. This is basically what he told us that he does. And I'm basically just stealing it from him because it works. If you go start a new profession, what are you going to do? Who are you going to learn the most from? The person that's been there and has proven to do the right thing over and over again and is really good at it. And you try to learn from his ways. Now, granted, my entries are obviously not going to be the same. My exits are obviously not going to be the same. The way I read a chart and the way that I read a stock that I think is moving fast is not going to be the same, right? We're not going to be the same person. We're not always going to take the same trades. However, it doesn't mean you can't take bits and pieces from their strategy and try to implement it into yours, right? There's thousands of different ways to make money in the market, but if you find one that can help you make money, why wouldn't you use it, right? I have no shame in saying, yeah, I'm going to try to do exactly what he's doing in this aspect, because I've seen him do it every day for almost 2 years now, and it just works. So why would I not want to try to do it? And I'm basically doing it already with the 112, but I try to be, my risk tolerance is a little bit less. So I would make sure that I kept my risk in check, right? If I won one here and then I let this go against me and say I hit a 2 here, I'm in full size because, as you can see, it tried to pull back here. I'm in full size and then this thing rips on me with full size. That would be very hard after we're in full size from all the way down here to let this thing rip all the way up against you, right? This is 1, 1, 2. So your average is now somewhere like probably here. So at like 30, 80, but you're full size and this thing rips all the way up through 32. That's tough. That's really tough. And it just wasn't working, right? I never would do this. I would stop out literally at high of day each time. So I was taking these losses pretty much every single time I was early on a stock where it would just give you a little pullback and then rip again because it wasn't done. I was losing every single time on these stocks. And I would have decent size even on just the first 2 entries. That's still 2 entries. And then it still went up a little higher. It wasn't like I top ticked that second entry. So where things change is now we take that same share size. Say it's 1,000, right? So to break 1,000 down into 112, it would be 500 and then 250, 250. But now if you break 1,000 down by 20, that's what, 50? Like you're going to start with 50, right? Yeah. So I'm starting with 50 here and then another 50. And then if it wants to keep going, I can go 100, right? That's the 112. But now I can go 200 on the next one, right? Because now I have 200 shares. I could double it again, or I could just do another 100. And then if it continues again, I could do 200, or I could even do 400, right? So if I did 50, 50, and then say we got that same entry here, and then say we top ticked it up here, 50, 50, 100, we'll just say 200 in this case. So 1, 1, 2, and then 4, right? So 1, 1, 2 is 4, and then plus 4 is 8. So we only used 8 out of the 20. And that's being conservative, right? That's not even half of the overall share size. Wouldn't even be full size. But it allows us to stay in the trade. It allows us to average up. It allows us to keep our average where it's at. Let's pull up a calculator real quick, and then I'm going to read everything that you guys said. So with what I just said, first entry, 3015. Hold on, I got to turn number lock on. So 3015 plus 3059, that gives us an average of 3037. And then it'll be easy. I'm just going to double each time because that's what I've been doing. 31.19, and it'll make the math easier. Divide that by 2. So now we're at 3078, and then plus 3194. Divide that by 2, and that. Wait, what did I do? Oh, I did the math wrong. Oh, I did 3794. 3078 plus 3194. So that puts us at 3136. So let's put a line at 3136. So we started all the way down here at 3015, and we managed to get our average all the way up here to 3136. So let's delete all these other lines so that we can see where our average is according to the move. So we got previous resistance here. We got the top of the move here. Now, let's draw our fibs. And if we want to use that previous resistance, look at where the 50 line is, right here. So we could try to get down to that area. If you really want to be conservative, you could even use the new line, and you could say our 50 line kind of adds up with our average. And if that does end up being the case, you can always look to just try to get out break even on something like this. But to me, this chart looked really good. You had a really nice extension, and it looked like it wanted to come back down, right? I mean, anything that extends that far, that fast, you're looking for a nice little retrace. And to be completely honest, I mean, this only had a pretty brief pullback, so I'm probably still going to be using the previous resistance as my 50. And look at what it did. It literally came down, pretty much bounced right off the thing. It tried to go through, but, and look at where it lines up with previous resistance there, almost literally to the penny almost. Comes down, and it's just crazy how it tries to use that level so often. It's kind of ridiculous. But as you can see, average is there. We're going to be in some pretty good size. So if you put even if you take it here at VWAP, let's draw a line here. Like, let's say you want to use VWAP, like front run VWAP a little bit. Actually, let's say we'll put it at 31, like we'll just say 31.03. So that would have been 33 cents on, of course I got rid of my calculator. So 31 cents on what, 400 shares? So you're talking, that's 124 bucks, right? Was it 50, 50, 100? Yeah. No. Yeah, 50. So it's actually 200. Yeah. So it would have been 400 shares. So right there, if you take it all right there and you don't try to scale out or anything, that's a pretty good win, right? It's a pretty decent win. Anyways, that's all I'm doing differently. It's allowing me to stay in trades longer, but have essentially the same risk. But obviously, if we had something, let me see what NTNX did. Say, I just wasn't ever interested. Look how linear this looked after the fact. When this went high of day, I was watching it and I wanted this thing to rip, but it never did. It just grinded. Look at it, just grind. And that's why you never really got a real pullback. It just grinded its way up there. I'm trying to think of any other ones that might have did something. Let me catch up with you guys. Just half the trade? What do you mean half the trade? Justin. Problem with 112 is when you're early, you've got no chance. Somehow GDT is never early. 112 is designed for being early? What do you mean? How is 112 designed for being early? I see what you're saying, Justin, but there's times where you can scale into something that's just ripping, and you get your. There's how many times? I'm not saying you do this often, but there's times where you get your last ad and it keeps going, and we'll see like on your charts where you have a pretty decent amount above your last ad, and you kind of have to wait for it to come back down. That's kind of what this would alleviate, where your risk tolerance is way better than mine. I would have been looking to cut at some point when it went high of day, where you have the ability to kind of let it ride a little bit, where I'm just really bad at that. So that's why I'm starting to lean this way. My connection is terrible. Please talk slower. What? If your connection is slower, does the price move slower? B is God. We can only try to attain B-ness. I always say I wish I could just be like 10% of B. I don't know. I don't get how he does what he does, but I'm trying to figure it out. He also does have like 13 plus years of trading experience on me, so hopefully in the next 13 years we can figure it out. Question for you, GDT. What do you look for to pick your initial entry? Extension and some sort of daily resistance, question mark. Put some balls in my mouth. Trying to respond. Well, Vincenzo, I don't know what to tell you, man. So 11248. No, I think what's more reasonable is like 1 1 2 2 4, something like that, because I mean, like you in your example, what's that, 12, 14, that's 16 out of the 20. However you want to get to the 20, it really depends, because like let's go back to the Iova example. Say we get 1 1 and then we get 2 here, and then it just rips, right? This is the move that we are looking for. We could hit this with like, we could go 1 1 2 and then like 8 if we really wanted to. Or what would be left there? 1 1 2 is, so it's 14 or 4, so that would leave us with 16. So yeah, we could go like 1 1 2, and then if this thing starts to rip, we could do like 8 and then 8 again, right? And then that would bring our average way up. So you can really, it's up to you how you want to disperse the 20. It's not like I'm looking for 21 entries. So 1 1 1 1 1 1 all like 20 times. That's not the point of this. The overall goal here is, let me draw the fibs again real quick to show you what the overall goal is. So my overall goal as the stock is going up. So let's start where we were. So when we entered the first time, what did I say, 30.15? So like somewhere around here. So your overall goal is to always have your entry within where you would think that 50% line is going to make you profit. So as this moves up and we get an entry here, and now this is the top, we need our average to be over this 30.21 area. And then as it goes up again and we get another entry, the high was put in here, we got to add here. Now we need our average to be over 30.49. Then again, it makes this big rip. Now, maybe I did that wrong because I was moving the whole thing. But you get the idea. So as the stock's moving up, the 50% line is moving with it. Your goal is to keep your average above that 50% line. Because if you can keep it above that 50% line, the odds are it pulls back to that 50% line a lot on pullbacks. Maybe not all in one shot. Sometimes, it takes a lot longer. Sometimes it wants to try to even go higher. But that's the whole point of this, is if it does, you can, as long as it's a nice, fast, continuous move like Iova here, it's okay to keep adding into it because your hand's just getting better and better. Now, granted, I didn't start it down here. I started it here. So if this thing really wanted to continue, I would feel really good about my entry, right? Because I would have still probably drawn the same 50 line and look at where my entry is. So if this thing wanted to continue, like let's say it went, up to 32.50 and through, so we'll go up to 32.60. The 50 line is here at 31.14. Well, my first entry was up here, so now my average, if I get an add up there somewhere, is going to probably be somewhere around like 32.20 in there. So I'm looking for 50%. I'm looking for over a point move back down. So the whole goal of scaling into the position and building your position is to also keep your average above that 50% line. And if you just do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, that's very hard to do. It's very hard to obtain a good average if you just keep doing that, right? Because it's just, you're not going to be hitting it enough with enough size to really bring your average up. It's just going to kind of incrementally move its way up. But if you're going 1, 1, 2, 2, and then 4 again, you're making it top heavy. So you're going to bring your average up. Now, keep in mind, I don't want you doing this with the share size you're doing now. If you're going to try to do something like this, you got to just really cut the share size. You got to go way down. Like I said, I was doing 112. I'm taking the same share size I would end with a 112, and I'm making it over so that's 4. So basically, you want to take your share size, say it's 1,000, and multiply that by 0.2, because that's what I'm doing, right? I'm making it 20 instead of 4. So how many times does 4 go into 20? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 5 times, right? So that's 20%, which is the 0.2. So you take your total share size, multiply that by 0.2, and it'll give you what your starter should be, the 1. And that's how I came up with my starting share size now, so that if it does get to the point, and that's what I wanted to clarify is, again, I'm not looking to do it 1, 1, 1, 1 20 times. So when people hear I have 20 like I'm using that number 20, but I can disperse that into the stock how I see fit based off of the move. So it can be 1122, it could be 1124, 8. Like it could be, again, it could be however you feel it needs to be dispersed, but you also have to be careful that once you get to that point, you can't just keep doing it. You got to realize, hey, if something's not working, it's not working, and you got to own it. Because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, if I just hit it, I got the 20, but if I just hit it for 20 more, maybe I can get out of this thing. And then that's how you blow your account. Okay, so GDT said, I'm not necessarily looking on the daily, but I like it when there is. Want big, fast move. Faster the better. George, what do you mean it's 40%? Averaging is such a risky strategy. Very small wins, massive losses. Ramas. I'm going to go with Ramas. I think that's right. So some people call it averaging. We're not averaging. We actually are looking to build the position. If we get single entries like this, it is what it is. It's going to be a smaller win. But if you build a position and you stay above that 50% line, like I said, so if I only get 50 shares on this and I make 60 cents, let's do the math. What was it? 61 cents. I only make $30.50. But in the scenario that I showed you earlier, with just the four entries, and it was 1124, right? So I didn't even use half of the 20 that we get. We made like $124 using the same chart. So I know what you're saying, and it's something totally different, because a lot of people aren't using an edge when they average into a position. They would say this came up and started consolidating, tried to come down, consolidated more, and then went higher, and then consolidated, and then went higher and consolidated. Like, let's use, was it IQ? Yeah, I mean, we can use IQ as an example. This wasn't really the one, but this will work. But say somebody started a position here, and then it makes this move here, grinds up a little higher, and say they don't even add here, it comes up here, they start adding into their position because, okay, it looks like it found a new top, it just goes sideways, and then it goes higher, and then they average in, they start averaging in higher, trying to bring their average up, and then it just goes higher, and then they try to average in again, and then just say this thing just goes sideways. It doesn't have to make any kind of drop, and I mean, it didn't really drop that much, but their average is probably still down here, like down 2070, 2080. And this is totally different, right? That's averaging, where this is once this thing goes high of day here, this is no longer a move I'm interested in. I'm interested in fast moves, and I'm looking for the retracement of that fast move. So once it is not a fast move anymore, I'm not interested. So that's why you'll see me stop out at high of day. The only difference is on something like IOVA, if it's really just a quick pullback and it really wasn't a pullback per se, like 50% of this move is somewhere down in here. It didn't even really get there. And then it wants to rip again. To me, I'm not stopping out there. I'm more so looking to let it continue, because this thing is still going. Like that there's a big difference between scaling into a position versus averaging into a position. Averaging is bad. Scaling is planned, is how I should say it. Tim's math is as good as my trading. Jerk. I'm like way behind on the chat. I'm catching up. I mean, I feel like I explained the strategy the best that I know how to explain it. So see if you guys have any questions to help me explain it better. GDT said, I don't like the small stuff. Get it out of here. Giving myself more ads never helped in general. Better to focus more on precision entries, but I buy dips. Yeah, James, I tried the whole precision entry thing, because back when I was being like super Tinker Tim, STT, I realized that a lot of my winners back when I was doing 112 were single entries like this. So I said, well, why don't I just always try to just get a single entry? And it would be on ones like this where I would hit it like near the top, or maybe not even near the top, but like say like right around here, and I'm looking for the payday down to 50%, and then it'll go high of day and I got to stop out because it was a right or right out type trade. So if it went high of day, I had to stop out because it was single entry, right or right out. And I learned really quickly that that is not a very profitable strategy, because the times I was wrong and it continued with 112, I could add to it or scale into it. And when you're using only one entry, precision entries, you have to stop out, because you're not just going to let this thing go against you, and you're not going to see if it's a fake out breakout, because this is exactly what happens. Let's just see if it's a fake out breakout, and then it just rips in your face. So yeah, I found out real quick that that just wasn't for me. I'm not saying it doesn't work and that it can't work. It's just not for me. What is? I feel like Vincenzo's trolling now. What did he say? 11123. Need someone to transcribe in real time. He said take as many entries as Vincenzo has YouTube profiles. That was funny. I like that one. Yeah, shouldn't need that many ads for dip buying. Yeah, that's true. For dip buying, maybe 2 entries at the most. And if you start buying more than that, you're probably averaging in. Look for my new running character, Ross's evil twin Russ. My strat is consistent, bad but steady. I sell bottom ticks and buy top ticks. Chris, I've been there. I mean, you might be joking, but I've been there. Wait, Chris, are you crispy? Because that would make a lot of sense. No offense. Yeah, just hit the other button. I see what you mean, Tim. I actually start some dip buys with 1 share just to focus more, and my first entry is usually too early, so I make it 1 share. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If I pulled up my montage right now, anything that has a $2 scale on the side, that's how I determine my entry size, is I'll look at the scale over here when it's zoomed all the way out. And so as you can see, this is actually 10 cents, but it looks like it's about to change to 20 or the 12 to 13 cent crap. So that's what I would use. That's how I determine. It actually went down to 5 cents. I went in a little too far there. So what makes you think that you can get all your ads when you have issues getting your third ad on 112? Well, Thomas, by doing it this way, I'm more inclined to at least get to the third ad if I have to. But I won't be anywhere near full size. But that's not the point. The point is I'm going to be winning so often that getting full size is not the issue. So it's more of a higher win rate pays type thing. And when you do get to scale into a position, as I showed you guys earlier with Iova there, you can make good money as long as you're patient and you wait for those moves back down. Premature evacuation. Say what? Anyone else mad that there's no baseball tonight? Yeah, there's all those protests. That 17-year-old kind of ruined it for everybody, huh? Dude was like, I'm just going to go shoot some people tonight. Tom's like, nope, don't care. Don't watch anymore from Jag. Turns out I don't need sports after all. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I do miss sports, but at the same time, it hasn't been crazy that I haven't been watching them. It is kind of crazy how you can adjust pretty quickly. 36, 24, 40 are my favorite numbers. Super tinkle. Brian, what's up, man? In the house. Hey, B, you'll be delighted to know that Tim officially lost the beard bet. No, not bye-bye beard. Just it gets to be colored for a little bit. All you got to do is buy the hair paint, and you have to come up and do it. I'm sure he won't mind making the trip to do it though. You're not cutting my beard. No, I'm sorry. We're drawing the line there. You don't know how long I've worked on this thing. We're not cutting that shit. If I agreed to that, well then I'm sorry. I'll be the bitch and back out of that one. Yeah, I said as far as painting, I don't remember any cutting. Hold on. I remember writing this shit down somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I think I might have threw it away after I realized I lost. thought I had it right here. Must have threw it away. I'll have to go back and look at the chat. There will be no cutting. There will be no cutting. You can definitely paint it. I'll at least agree to that. I'll owe you one. How about that? I'm asking you to forgive me with no cuts. No. All right, hold on. I was almost caught up. God has graced us with his presence. Tim, lately you've been making single-digit gains on a trade in CMEG. Those gains don't even cover the commission on the trade, I guess. Can you throw some light on the fact? Yeah, I pay out of pocket right now, whether it be through whatever means it is, so that I can become consistent and not wager too much money. But I refuse to paper trade because I feel that there is absolutely zero emotion in paper trading. So this is my way of keeping skin in the game to hold myself accountable. So I have no problem treating this almost as, I mean, you can think of it however you want. You can think of it as like a college course. You go to college to learn something so that you can use it for your career. So if I have to start off paying for commissions and fees to learn something and become consistent at it and become really good at it, then I have no problem doing it. So I get asked that question a lot. Like, well, how are you even making money? And I always tell her, I'm not. My goal right now is to just break even, try to break even as far as the commissions and fees go. And to me, that's a win, because as long as I'm learning how to be consistent, the size of the share size, the amount you're making is all relevant to the person. Because I could be sitting here trying to make, say, $10 a day, where someone else at the same skill level as me could be trying to make $1,000 a day because they have hundreds of thousands of dollars to throw at this where I don't. So the meaning of $100 to me versus the meaning of $100 to you could be completely different. So that's really the best way I can describe that. Of course I want to be making more, but why would I risk more while I'm trying to figure out how to be consistent at what I'm doing? There's no reason to waste money. I've already done that in the past. So there's no reason. I found out that there's no reason to do that. And on the side, not only am I paying for the fees and commissions, but I've also been saving up to get off of PDT, open up with a US broker. So I was just having this conversation with Chris earlier. It all comes down to how bad you want it. Are you that worried about what other people are going to say when they see you're only making single-digit gains on a trade? Or are you more worried about 5 years from now when those single-digit gains are now four-figure gains? Right? That's the goal. That's the end goal, is to get there. But to get there, I have to go through this. And that's where I'm at right now. So the whole point of having the channel was to document my journey, and that's what I'm doing. So if this is part of the journey, then so be it. But I'm not going to try to do things to impress other people. That is definitely not why I started the channel. I started the channel just to document my journey, and it turned into, hey, if we can not only be entertaining, but at the same time try to help some people along the way, try to teach them things that I wish I would have known when I first started, that kind of route, then so be it. And that's basically what this turned into. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully that answers your question. I always have to edit out the H when I type your name. It's crispy. Crispy. The only sport I care about is football, and I may be done with that too. Yeah, I mean, when the Ravens suck again, I'll probably be done with it myself. I don't know the first person that he shot. We don't know, but the second two were definitely self-defense. Yeah, I saw the video. I'm not going to get into it, though. Beard stuff. Beard from the dude in the Hunger Games. Yeah, Tinker Tim's not alive, Brian, by the way. It's nothing that we hadn't talked about. I was just talking about the entries. I'll take the pink polka dots. I lost the bet, but they're not. There's no cutting involved. Paul Tudor Jones kept a post-it on his computer that read averaging up and down is for dummies, but he's an old-time commodities trader worth a few $100 million, but he's a boomer. Okay, boomer. I've started trying a precision entry with starter size. If it goes high of day, I cut, then get back in with twice the shares if it makes another fast move. I'll do that up to 3 times, very similar to 112. Caleb, that's actually not a bad idea, and I had actually thought about that before. Believe it or not, back when I was being Tinker Tim. And the only problem I found with it is I get faked out a lot. So sometimes you'll get high of day and you'll end up cutting, and then it'll like make the top of this candle here, and then it'll come back down into the range. It won't actually extend itself again. And I just found that, I mean, I get what you're doing, but at the same time, you do have to realize if you would have just done 1-2 in this situation, like starting here, every time you take that small loss and you're going in with double the size per se, you're still essentially getting the same result, but with more tickets, really, because you're, short, cover, and then short, and then cover if you scale out or whatever. I don't know exactly what you do, but I'm not getting at it from a commission standpoint. I'm just saying you're going to have 2 realized losses, and then, you're going to have the big winner to cover that loss and then whatever on top. But at the same time, if you would have just scaled into it originally, you don't even have to necessarily deal with that. I get what you're doing, and I didn't see the end result being any different, so that was just why I never did it. I'm still paying for college, just saying. Yeah, so is my brother. I think he just finished paying. My friend Nick, he's been paying since 2007, and yeah. It's 2020. It's crazy. Big difference between averaging in and averaging up. Well, we basically had that discussion already, and I said the same thing, but I just called it, there's a big difference between averaging in and scaling into a position. There's a big difference between scaling into a position and averaging up in your scenario, in your analogy. It looks the same? What looks the same? Got to risk it for the biscuit. You're at work? You're watching me while at work? You must be bored. I'd be drinking with you, Brian, but I can't. I got the kids by myself, so the biscuit boys. Thank you for answering. Very insightful and clearly explained. I am following the same strategy, but for me, it's TradeZero International. My trades are $1 each. Gotcha. Yeah, like I mean, I don't really know how to put it, but I have a side gig. Like I umpire. I have the affiliations with ISW, with CMEG, and with TraderSync. I mean, using that as well as umpiring, it's like I use other means to allow myself to learn at a smaller rate, like at a smaller share size. I mean, it's the truth. I don't really know any other way to say it, but I'd rather keep skin in the game to keep the emotions in play. But at the same time, there's no reason to overstep my boundaries until I'm ready, right? I am not 100% confident in what I'm doing. So if I'm not 100% confident in what I'm doing, I should not be trading with size acting like I am. So until I get there, whether it takes a week, whether it takes a month, whether it takes 6 months, who knows? But I don't plan to try to fast track. I mean, I'm literally, was it 4 days ago? I've been doing, or actually 7 days ago now, I've been doing it for 2 years. So 2 years and 7 days is how long I've been trading now, live. And look at where I'm at, right? It's not easy. All these people that come in, they've been trading for a month or two and they act like they know everything. Okay. Hopefully I still see you in a few years. That's kind of my thought process now. It's like they come and they go. How many YouTube channels have you seen? They're like, oh, this guy's pretty cool. He seems to know what he's doing. And then they just disappear. The channels that only post wins. Well, guess what? It's because they're not showing everything. That's what I take pride in. The fact that I show you guys everything. There's ups and downs. The truth is out there. You just have to find it. Brian said he sent his IOVA chart. Let's see. did that not download as a... Let's just open it in a new tab. I was hoping to make it bigger. But yeah, Brian's just a different beast than himself. But as you'll see, I mean, he will start a position and he hits it. He's confident, right? He knows when to hit the button. He always has, right? So as you can see, he likes to say that he trades 112, but he'll just kind of break it into sections. But there's times where he'll go like 11210 because he's confident that he found the top. Now, I don't know what his ratio on this was, which maybe he can tell us, but I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 arrows with one being on the backside. So we'll control plus. There we go. Thank you. I actually knew how to do that, but I didn't know it would work for a picture. So thank you, David. Okay, so as we're waiting for him to tell us, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yes, he has TT is to the bone. Jerk. Stacking Kid, see you later, man. Yeah, the ISW lounge would not be the same without all the memes. It's what I specialize in. I'm much better at memes than I am at trading. Conceptually, why does it make more sense for you to trade a stock like Iova with a clear bias bullish versus any ordinary liquid stock with a 50-50 bias? Probability. When you get an extension like this, I mean, the probability of it retracing is way higher. It's much higher than 50%, I'll tell you that. I mean, even if you want to go as low as like 70, 75%, that's still way higher than 50%. But the odds of it doing exactly what it did are very high compared to, you know, playing this breakout here, like pullback, like buying this pullback. It's very 50-50 whether this thing wants to continue back down or go up and do what it did, right? It's literally 50-50 as it gets. But these extensions, they almost always have a pullback, almost always. So, I mean, that's the difference. With the latter, you could expect more interaction with key levels. Well, yeah. Hey, like there's thousands of ways to make money. And I'm not saying dip buying like you do is wrong. I'm not saying that at all. Because dip buying works. I mean, if you bought this dip, I mean, that was an amazing trade. But dip buying also doesn't work a lot. So, and usually if you're dip buying, especially a move like this, where's your stop? To me, there's no clear defined stop. At least when you're playing the front side of a move, eventually that thing's going to make a high. And if you really want to use that as a stop, at least you have a clear defined stop. So unless you're using some other key levels or whatnot, like that's my issue with buying dips is you're trying to follow the trend is your friend, whatever you want to call it. But at the same time, there's never really any solid risk off. At least, I mean, looking at this chart, I don't see anywhere to risk off of if you buy that dip. Morning all from my part of the world. Camille, what's up, man? What part of the world is that? Their strategy resembles a premature erection that has to come down after being shot down. But what if you took Viagra? Trade Zero has free limit orders, which definitely helps. Yeah, true. Umpire, bruh. I'm the coach that gets tossed for arguing balls and strikes. You did say you have a bad temper. I've never tossed anybody. I've been doing it for 3 years. I've never tossed anybody. You gotta, I mean, I'm sure you can tell by my personality. You'd have to really like say some messed up things or throw something at me, or you'd have to do something like that would be an immediate ejection. But if you're just talking to me, I'm not going to be worried about it. But if you do, I mean, obviously if you argue balls and strikes, you're probably going to get it too. But I mean, you'd have to like really go at it. Yeah, David's coming to the dark side. I got you. It's helped me be more patient on initial entry. I think there's definitely pros and cons either way. I just tend to be better trying to catch the backside instead of adding to on the front. Yeah, Caleb. I tried the backside too. In my little 8-month span of being Tinker Tim, I definitely tried quite a bit, and that was definitely a lot of them. or part of it was the backside ads. So, okay. Trade without charts. You mean like Mr. Squirrel? Just take the candles off the chart and try to trade like that. Lots of ups and a few big downs. As Brian would say, just don't lose. All right, so Brian said this is a 1, 1, 2, 2, and then a 6. So basically he determined that we found the top here. So let's just pull out the calculator. So we can do a little math here. So say the first one was at, we'll just say like 31.45 plus 31, looks like 63, I don't know. I'm just kind of eyeballing here. Then 2, a little bit higher, we'll go with 31.70. Divide that by 2. And then 2 again at 31, say it was a little lower than where that line is at 31.85. So we'll do 31.84. Divide that by 2. And then he did 6. So how are we going to do that? Do 31. We'll act like it was 100 shares. So 100, 100, 200, that's 400, and 6. So it was actually doubled again. Right? Am I doing that right? Yeah. So it would be double again. And then that was at 31, looks like 70. So basically his average was going to be at 31.70. So way up here with, if he started with 100 shares, that would be 1,200 shares, right? And look at the drop, right? So 1,200 shares, and look at all these covers down here. I mean, even if you're only taking on, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see 7 green candles. So if you're taking off like 100 here, 100 there, 100 there, or whatever, obviously this is just an example. But the point is, the average is way up here, 31.70, probably like 31.71, 31.72-ish area. And look at where the covers are, 31.20. So you're talking 50 cents on all of the shares because he built into a position. So identifying a move like this and then getting these pullbacks, I mean, this is as standard as it gets. So if you can do these over and over and over and over and over again, the 15%, Brian likes to say 85-15, the 15% that don't do this, you're still going to usually get some kind of a pullback, and it's going to end up being like a break-even trade. It's going to be very rare that you start getting into trades where they just keep going and never pull back and keep going. And real quick, let's go back to IQ because it's a good example. You're not going to just hang out in this trade, right? Even if you pulled off and stayed in through this and thought this was a fast move and scaled into this move, after it does all of this, right? It set a high, comes up, tries to come back down, keeps hitting the support. Say your average is like somewhere down in here somewhere. I know there's a ton of lines, but say this line here is where your average is, but it finds this range up here and then goes high of day. Well, granted, unless you loaded the boat there and you're going to take a max loss, it's still not that big of a loss. Like it didn't really like go. You're not going to just let it consolidate like this for, what is this? Almost 2 hours and then continue to play it when it goes back to high of day. Like you have to just call it at that point, right? So there's still risk management in play. It's just a matter of what you're comfortable with. When it comes down and fakes out, doesn't want to come through and it goes back up, do you take some off, right? Like there's all kinds of risk management built into a system. You can't just all or nothing every single time. That's not how it works. So as you scale into these positions, there's going to be times where on the dips, you got to take some off. And then if it wants to rip and you want to stay into it, then you could. But this is a good definition of you're not averaging up. You're looking for fast. Once the fast stops, you're no longer interested anymore. And actually, I think this might have went high a day. 21.05. No, it actually held. So if your stop was over high a day, you would have been good at least for right there. So, but that's what I'm trying to get at. So if right there you want to hammer it, say you started here, got some here, you could probably get your average up high enough if you hammered it like Brian does, and you could have probably still got out close to break even, right? That's my point, is a lot of your 15% that don't give you that pullback like Iova, right? Like this, or like I guess NTNX. Was it NTNX? Yeah. NTNX was another good reason, right? Fast move, pullback, fast move, pullback, and then look at this move. It was grindy. Just grind, right? So you're not interested in this anymore. And that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't just keep averaging up. You look for fast. Once fast stops, you're not interested anymore. You take what the market gives you and you move on. Yeah, eventually the retracement is likely, but timing is more important. Well, yeah, of course timing's important. Hindsight's 2020. It's easy to sit here and look at a chart and tell you what you should have done. I'd never touch Iova for a dip. Front side is dangerous, though. Yeah, of course it is, unless you have solid criteria, which I like to think that we do at this point. Well, I like to think that I do, but I meant we as in like Brian does. Like, again, I said it earlier, and if Brian's still here, I'm looking at someone that has done something that works day in, day out. Every freaking day I show up, and what I'm doing is, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but I'm watching someone else do it in a different way, and it just works every day. So why would I not want to try to do the same thing, right? It would make no sense not to. It would be like me trying to reinvent the wheel. Why? There's no point. There's no better way to make the wheel, at least that we know of. That was a joke. I don't really see, how is there a better way to make a wheel? Like, what would you do? There's a reason it's been the same for so long. Just can't get across the questions effectively. This topic is too technical. What do you mean? Brad, what's up, man? Cut your beard. Where'd that come from? Get out of here. I did just cut it. Doesn't it look shorter? This is as short as it usually gets, though. It's actually the smallest, the lowest number that I have for my trimmer. I think I threw all the other ones away just so I didn't make any mistakes. I've been tossed twice in one weekend travel ball tournament. It's an art form, really. How do you get tossed twice in a tournament? Don't you usually get suspended for a game? Or I guess maybe your team lasted long enough. One thing I noticed in your video is your screen is a little crowded. The candlesticks on the charts are not seen very clearly when to enter and exit the trade. Maybe you can do something about it. Well, Sammy, it's actually on purpose. And believe it or not, again, because of Brian. But let me catch up in the chat real quick, and I'll come back to that real quick. You can make any trading work with a new betting scheme. Yeah. We'll just do the martingale strategy. Just keep doubling down every single time. Just let it keep going. 1, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 until we run out of buying power, right? And then you're fucked. I always wish his charts were bigger. My eyes are old. Yeah. Only B doesn't lose. Mortals like us aren't B, just saying. Subscribed to ISW a few days ago and still getting my feet wet. Highlighted colors shown on the stock. Blue for low float, orange for stock exceeding 20 on the I3. Yellow is also low float. Yeah. So Thomas answered that. Yellow is low and blue is tiny. And yeah, the orange, gold, whatever you want to call it, is exceeding 20. Tranquil Tim. Yeah. Or whatever you have to set it all. Yeah, because you can change it to 15, 20, 25 based on price range. Yeah, timing is always going to be an issue, right? That's an art form. Brian will even say that. Entering a stock at the right time is an art form. It's learning how to read the price action. Brian, I do what I do for a reason. It works, exactly. Yellow is for tiny float. Yellow equals tiny, cautious. Blue is just low. Okay, there you go. I don't really trade anything that I see that's highlighted blue or yellow, so yeah. Camille, if you're signed up with the Platinum, there is a Platinum chat, by the way. Brian made that available not too long ago. So there is a chat room for all the platinum members. If you want to join that, we do. I keep an eye on it. I keep it monitored per se. So if there's anything I feel that's important to be talked about, I'll jump in there. Okay, so I'm caught up in chat. Going back to the tininess. So let's see if we can see if any of our trades from today are a good example. So IQ is a good example. If I'm zoomed in on IQ to only today, right? So it looks like this. I can't see. All I see is I see this and then maybe that, right? And I see the extension. But if I zoom out, I can see, look at where this is trading in relevance to where it was. And on top of that, if there was highs from yesterday, like perfect example, was it NTNX? Yeah. If I'm zoomed in to only today, I wouldn't know that this was on earnings, and I wouldn't know that this is very extended. I mean, I obviously could look at the daily to kind of see where it's at, and I don't always look at the daily before I enter a stock, but if I feel like I pull a stock up and I'm still early, and I think we're going up to a key level, and the price action feels like it's going to go there, I'll pull up the daily real quick just to see if there's any key levels. But I would have never taken this trade had I not been zoomed out. Look how extended this thing got on earnings, and look at this key level right here, right? That was a huge factor in me trading this. Now keep in mind, my charts are actually even smaller. Like you can almost not even see the candles. Actually, you can't. I even told Brian this when I first started, because that's like, if you look at his charts, hold on. I actually have some of his old charts because I used to try to study them. That's not the charts. Hold on one sec. Here there. So this is what Brian's charts look like, and it's probably hard to see, but let me try to make them a little bigger. So you can see, you can barely make the candles out. Let's try. Of course, it's gonna make me dig. Well, let me open in the same one. Yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to make out, but I mean, the whole point is you're looking to see the big picture, and you don't need, because I remember when this was literally just like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. I remember asking Brian, I was like, how can you see like what the candles are doing? He's like, you don't need to see what the candles are doing, right? That's what this orange line's for. It's the last price indicator. Really, that's all that matters. And I remember my big argument was, well, what if it had like a little pullback and then goes higher? And he's like, well, is it still extended? Is it still moving fast? And I'm just like, okay, I get it. Like, it's yeah. Again, just to answer your question, if you're zoomed in, I do zoom in to like take pictures of the charts sometimes for like the chat, just so they can see the trade. But while I'm trading, it's like this, so I can see the bigger picture. Is there a broker that offers options trading without PDT? Well, if you trade options, there is no PDT. That's the whole reason people trade options, right? Not cash account, but actually settles in the same day. I'm pretty sure any US account you can open and trade options and not worry about PDT. I'm pretty sure PDT does not apply to options. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody that trades options. I don't trade options, never have. So I don't know if that's but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Alrighty. All caught up. Sounds like it's thundering. Now it hits my account after 5 or 7 more trades. I'm locked out 90 days now? I've had to open multiple accounts. Are you sure? I which broker are you doing this with? Yeah, that was actually why I asked. Tastyworks? I mean, I honestly don't know. But I'm pretty sure that like if you're with a US broker like TDA or E-Trade or whatever, I'm pretty sure options does not count as PDT. At least that's my understanding. How many people we got in here? Oh shit! I didn't realize we had that many people in here. Hey Brian, you want to give away a week of the chat? At least I ask you. Justin just does it. Justin says I own Brian. Options settle next day. There you go. Yeah, like get them in the chat room. Reminds me of what movie was that? Whatever, I do what I want. All right. If you guys are here listening, I pulled it up. I was like, if we have 30, and we're literally at 30, hit the like button first. See if we can get that over 20. We're gonna do a week of team for every pink polka dot. Is Thomas trying to guess like what number I'm gonna say? I guess Thomas could win, right? Get him back in the room for a week. I can't say he can't be. No, if you're here, you want to join us in the Team ISW chat room, the Team ISW room for a week. Next week, put 1 down in the chat, and I'm going to put you all down, and we're going to do just random generator. We'll do it that way. Rando number generator. So let me pull up the... Now, you have to be smart enough to find me on Discord and give me your information. Or, oh yeah, I guess I don't even really need your information. I would just need you to contact me so I can give you the information. But maybe Brian can actually, yeah, I'm gonna wait. Trust me, I always get the likes. We have 30 people in here, so that means there should be at least 30 likes. So 30 likes right now, or this shit ain't happening. All right, we'll do 25 likes. So you have to find me in Discord, and that way I can give you the information. Brian might be able to get it set up right now, so you could actually mess around with it over the weekend, like get the scanner set up, all that good stuff. Let me where's my, I guess, yeah, let me just do a new one down here real quick. Won. All I do is win. George, come on. I know, I like to put GDT in there just because he always does win. While everybody is here, while we're waiting, GDT reminded me by seeing his member thing pop up twice a month, every other Saturday. Not this Saturday, we did it last Saturday. We have a members only strategy talk where it's not always just about my strategy. If you guys want to come in and get some like one-on-one type experience where we talk about basically any type of strategy that you want, feel free to hit the join button down below. It's the high level support you'll see with all the perks. GDT is a little cheapo though. Just kidding. My dislikes are getting trolled. I can't see them anyway, so I only see the likes. I don't accept dislikes. George and Chris, you guys are already in the room. How do you like it twice? You can't like it twice. That means you unliked it. I'm winning and B is trading with my account for a week. Winner, winner. All right, we will still need 6 more likes, boys. Let's go. I know you guys are in here. 6 more likes. Six more. And then I'll give you guys, we'll do the drawing at 10:25. 10:25, final call. Final call, anybody. And then I'm getting out of here at 10:30. So any closing remarks after the drawing, get your questions in now. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people so far. Need at least one more because I don't want to be lazy. Or I want to be lazy. I don't want to change this number. Oh wow, I see the likes actually went down quite a bit there. They are trolling. Hey, Zane popping in there to save me. Type if you guys are just tuning in or you weren't really listening before, doing a week giveaway of the Team ISW, includes the chat rooms, platinum scanners, everything for 1 week next week. All you got to do is type 1 in the chat, get you into the drawing. We're going to do it here in 4 minutes. Dang was going to buy a couple rounds. What's that? Oh, Brian, if you were here, I told you that already. There's no drink in the night. Jerks. I can't do shots. I'm home alone this weekend with the kids, so no drinking. Just, I mean, you know better. If something were to happen, nope, not doing it. Just putting balls in my mouth tonight. And plus, you giving a week away, that's more than enough. You're donating to the cause. See if we can get somebody in there. All right, we still only got 10 people. Am I really going to have to go and look at the dislikes? You guys are really disliking it that much, you jerks. Maybe I'll just hold to my word. You know, I'm doing really good lately with my oldest son. I'm telling him something, and if he doesn't do it, then he doesn't get what he's supposed to be getting. So there's 8. Jesus, what did I do to you guys? What did I do to you guys? You're gonna make me cry. Just kidding. I could really care less. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Well, how about this? If we can't get over 20 likes, we're just not gonna do the giveaway. How about that? You got 2 minutes to turn your dislike into a like, or no giveaway. How about that? Kermit's undivided attention. What do you have when you got 2 little green balls in your hand? Kermit's I got it. I like it. I'm surprised Justin's not hitting me with riddles. His last live stream, that's all. I just kept throwing riddles at him. After we got him drink, of course. You guys notice that I'm ignoring Vincenzo? If you guys are just tuning in, I see there's a couple more people in here now. Type a 1 in chat if you're interested in a free week next week of Team ISW. Get the full package, the platinum scanners, as well as the 2. It's actually, I guess, 3 chat rooms, but you get the team chat rooms as well as the ultra scan. The ultra scan, yeah, buddy. Love me the ultra scan. Double D in the house. What's up? I'm going to put you in there, Justin. I'm just putting you at the end. Oh, trust me. I was planning on putting you in there just for giggles. All right. You got 50 seconds. If you're in here, you got 50 seconds. Yeah, George, I'm not putting you on there because you won last time. You shaved my head? No, I just got my hair cut. Literally. You guys don't think I have hair because I just always wear a hat, but you can see it on the sides. Like I literally just got it cut. It's like my first haircut in months. You shaving shit. The Rona cut, yeah. They make you hold the mat, like when they're doing this, the sides and the back. You literally have to like put your hand out and hold the mask over your face, and then when they're done that, you can put the mask back on, and yeah. All right, so to make up for not letting you cut my beard, I will let you like do something to my hair with the color if you want to. Sammy, you don't have to win this, but it would be nice for someone to win this, which there's 21 likes, which is fine. All right, yeah, we're past the time. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we'll throw GDT in there as 12. Here we go. Hopefully you remembered which slot you were in, because we're not going to figure it out until we get back. Let's, can we make this bigger? Nope. Ooh. Oh, there's different ways to do it. Can I put you guys on a spinner? A fidget? Wheel size? Ooh. Ooh, I like it. Okay, this one doesn't count. Is there a way to make this bigger? I want to make it bigger. I like this better than the random number generator. Control. Oh, yeah, that's right. I could zoom again. It's Control Plus, isn't it? No, that's not working for this. Control 1. Can I go full screen with it? F11? No, that doesn't work. Oh. There we go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Now we just got to zoom over. I like it. I like it. I like it. Does Control Mouse wheel really work? Oh, it does. Nice. Cool. Good. I'm actually usually really good with shortcuts on Windows, but zooming has never been something. I'm usually the one making shit smaller because I'm not bragging, but my eyes are really good. So like I try to fit as much on the screens, and of course I have 5 screens, but that's not the point. All right. Wax his nose hair. I don't really have nose hair. I cut them. So I already bought a new razor. Like during the stream, he's on Amazon shopping for razors. All right, don't worry. Hold on, I just want to make sure. Okay, here we go. So you guys probably don't remember your number. So here, I'm gonna actually give you guys your numbers. AN, your number 1. Jag, your number 2. Thomas, your number 3. Caleb, your number 4. Sammy, your number 5. Tony B. I wish you were Tony G. That would be awesome. Your number 6. Gold Star, your number 7. Everzile, your number 8. Mike, your number 9. Zane, your number 10. Spy, your number 11. And Justin, your number 12. So remember your number. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Spinaroo. I love this. This is so much cool. Number 8. It's not number 12. We all win. Number 8 was, let's count from the back, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Everzile. Congratulations, my man. Let me make sure I go from the top to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Everzile, you are the winner. That would be even cooler if you could somehow like put the names on there. That'd be pretty cool. He cheated. How did he cheat? Come on. Everzile, are you actually still in here? Give me a woot woot. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. So I'm gonna shoot you my Discord real quick. I'm gonna throw it. Actually, I think I can still do it this way. Let's find out. Are you in here, bot? Mr. Bot, are you in here? Hello? There you are. So go ahead and join the Discord. Shoot me a message. Brian will shoot me the stuff. Let me see if he already did, because he's awesome like that. Nope, not yet, but he will. And I will get that over to you. And congrats, man. Free week. It's really awesome. Soak it up. Soak the week up. Ask as many questions as you can in the chat. Just that's all I can say. Soak it up. A lot of people don't get to experience this. A lot of people don't take the dive to really get in there. So anybody that gets that free week, I always try to encourage them. Just soak it up. Do it. Get as much out of it as you can. And hey, if you like it enough, maybe you'll join us for good. But all right, well, that's all I have, guys. I appreciate you all stopping by. I like to kick it off like that at the end. That was pretty cool. I feel like that was a good way to end it. Have a good rest of your weekend. If you do have any questions or comments, feel free to find me on Discord, on Twitter, anything like that. And have, again, a good weekend. And I will see you guys Monday. Peace.